The sky was overcast with thick grey clouds, and a cold breeze swept gently across the ground. The chill in the air gave the afternoon a strange tension, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Around a small wooden fenced arena, people had gathered from nearby villages. Young boys climbed onto wooden railings, older men leaned against trees, and children peeked through gaps in the fence. There was excitement in their eyes and restless energy in their voices. Everyone knew they were about to witness something rare, something raw. Inside the wooden pen stood a strong metal enclosure like a cage, and within it were 3 horses. One was a tall, powerful white stallion, muscles rippling beneath his smooth coat, his breath rising in soft mist into the cold air. His name was unknown to most, but they could see his spirit, brave, proud, alert. His hooves pawed at the ground gently, not nervously, but as a warning. Across from him stood a second stallion, this one coated in striking red and yellow patches. He was smaller but sharper in movement, as if a flame had taken the shape of a horse. He wasn't here to impress. He was here to win. His gaze never left the white stallion. Between them stood a mare, elegant, fierce, and breathtakingly beautiful. Her coat shimmered with warm red and golden tones, like morning light reflecting on river water. She shifted restlessly, backing away at times, stepping closer at others. Her eyes moved from one stallion to the other, as if she too was waiting to see which one would prove worthy. The gate opened. The ground fell silent. The white stallion was the first to strike. He reared up, then lunged forward, his front hooves slamming the ground with force before rushing at the red-yellow horse. Dust flew. The crowd gasped. But the red stallion didn't back away. He twisted his body quickly and shoved forward with his shoulder, meeting the attack head-on. The two clashed in a spray of dirt and breath and force. They circled each other like warriors, both watching for the next move. The white one attacked again, powerful and straightforward. The red stallion responded with sharp turns, calculated dodges, and sudden bites toward the neck or side. They kicked, they pushed, they locked heads and broke away, then returned with double the speed. The white stallion, larger and stronger, used his weight like a hammer, trying to overpower. But the red-yellow stallion had the fire of 10 horses, faster, more agile, and just as determined. The cold wind grew stronger, and the sky darkened a little more. The crowd cheered louder, calling out to their favorites, clapping the fence, whistling. But inside the enclosure, none of it mattered. There was only the struggle, the test. This was no simple contest of ownership or pride. This was instinct, ancient and wild, playing out under heavy clouds. The white stallion showed signs of wear. His breathing grew heavier, and his sides rose and fell like waves in a storm. But he didn't slow down. He pushed forward again, hooves flying, teeth bared, eyes locked on his rival. The red-yellow stallion took the hit, but responded with a fierce shove and a quick step to the side. He struck back with full power, forcing the white one to stumble slightly, then regain balance and charge again. Both were bruised, slick with sweat despite the cold, yet neither backed down. One final clash came, louder, stronger, more desperate. They rose on their hind legs, slammed into each other, landed, and pushed with every ounce of strength they had left. Dust exploded around them. A few people outside shouted in surprise, but still the stallion stood. The red-yellow one stepped back slightly, his breath quick, his chest heaving, but his head still high. The white stallion stared at him, his body trembling slightly. then let out a deep, sharp exhale and stomped the ground once. The mare lifted her head, watched them both, then slowly stepped toward the red-yellow stallion. The fight was over. There was no dramatic fall, no defeat on the ground, but a choice had been made. And yet, both stallions stood tall. No one had truly lost. One had been chosen. The other had not been broken. The clouds remained overhead. The cold breeze continued to blow across the arena. People began to drift away, but the image stayed with them. A white stallion full of courage, a red-yellow stallion burning with fire, and a mare whose presence had turned a cold day into something unforgettable.